Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from simpleprogrammer.com. So I got this question about how to choose the best domain name for my tech blog. So this would be a good one to answer. So if you just a little bit of background here, I give a course, a free email course called How to Create a Blog to Boost Your Career. And that's where a lot of these questions come from. Anyway, you can go there, just go to devcareerboost.com/blog course. We'll see. I'll get a link for you so you can go to that. But you can also find it if you just go to simpleprogrammer.com and go. There will be a pop-up that will come up, and you can just put your email in there and sign up for the course. Anyway, it's a good course. It's free. Teaches you how to create a blog and all the kind of stuff all the secrets I've learned from doing that over the years, growing Simple Programmer up to what's it like over 1 million visits a year now. So anyway. Lee has asked this question. He said, I've decided to take your advice and start my blog. I'm curious if you have any tips for choosing or perhaps testing the, quote, best or right domain name. Here's the context of my question. The blog will focus on automated testing for meme stack and JS apps. This is a topic that I love, that I use on a daily basis at work, and I've already given presentations on. I've identified and already purchased a couple of potential domain names. I'm not going to go through his domain names here, but he says essentially, well, actually, I will say them because he's already purchased them. So republicoftest.com and testhero.io. I like the first because in my mind, at least, it captures the spirit of the site. And I like the second because it's short, easy to remember, and has the currently fashionable .io domain. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the topic. Thanks again, Lee. So testhero.io and republicoftest.com. Okay, so I've got a couple of thoughts on this. There's a few things to think about when we talk about getting a domain name for your blog. And I talk about this a little bit in the course, but I don't think I really expanded on this, so I'm going to expand on this now. So the biggest thing I think in picking a domain name that's going to be more important than anything else in the long run, right, is going to be the typeability and rememberability of it, right? There's a reason why like 3-letter domain names are so expensive. They go for hundreds of thousands of dollars actually at this point. It's because they're so good, right? abc.com is so easy. I'm sure you can think of some other 3-letter domain names that are probably really expensive, right? Anyway, short domain names are good, right? Simple one-word domain names by.com, right? And those are good domain names because they're simple. People can remember them. They can type them in easily. They're less likely to fudge them. Simple is kind of the key there, right? So even if it's not short, if it's simple, that's going to be better, right? A bad domain name would be like, I don't know, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.com because it's long and because how the hell do I spell that? So people are going to say that, right? A good domain name is something like simpleprogrammer.com. It's simple, simple programmer, right? You can remember that. That's why I picked that domain name. So that's the key thing is, first of all, just having something simple that you can remember that's somewhat catchy. I think if the .io is catchy right now, then that's fine, and you can take advantage of that. A lot of tools are using like get and then the tool name. That's a pretty good domain name. But that's kind of the first thing is like, that's going to be the most important thing because you want people to be able to go to the site, to be able to say the site if you're on like an interview or something, right? And for people to remember it and build it easily, right? If I go on a podcast and I say simpleprogrammer.com, people can remember that. Oh, it's Simple Programmer. That guy sounded like a simpleton to me, so Simple Programmer. Anyway, that's the key, right? I think in the long run, that's going to be the best thing. Then we get into some more of the complicated topics about domain names. So there's a whole, people, SEO experts can give you a whole spiel on this, but I'm going to give you kind of the rundown here. So page rank in Google is sort of important, like the domain has its own sort of domain ranking, right? And so older domains that have more links coming to them have more of that. So if you can, right, one thing you could do to sort of boost your blog traffic from the beginning is to search a list of domains that are for auction or for sale, not new ones that have never been registered before, but ones that people have already had that have higher page ranks, that might have like PR3 or PR4 or PR5, right, that are higher page ranks, so that they're basically going to going to get more traffic from the beginning, right? Because Google sort of values them higher. Now you might not get the name that you want, so that's why I say the name is sort of more important in the long run. But that'll get you kind of a faster boost in traffic. The other thing with the domain name is how it relates to the thing that you're doing. So it's going to help you to have a domain that is similar, that has at least the keyword that a lot of your blog posts are going to be targeting for SEO. So again, I'm going to use my domain name as simpleprogrammer.com. I have programmer in there. So when I write blog posts about programmer type of topics, I get a little bit more relevance because my domain name is Simple Programmer. So that's going to help on the SEO side. But I mean, in the long run, it's not going to matter so much, right? Because a lot of this is, you're going to build up SEO. It's going to be the content that you produce. It's going to be the links that you generate from having good content. Just try, my best advice is just see if you can find like an expired domain that would fit your thing, or a domain for sale that you can buy for cheap because you can get some extra boost in traffic. That'd be see if you can, but don't sacrifice on the name. Like, you got to get a good name that is contextual to what you're doing, so it makes sense, so people can figure that out from the domain name. It's simple to type, right? And hopefully has that keyword in there if you can. That's kind of the perfect formula. If you can't get all that stuff, then at the very least, just make it a simple name that's easy to type, easy to say, easy to remember, so that people can go to it. And over the long run, the other stuff isn't going to matter. If you're in this for the long haul, like 5-6 years down the road, having something that's easy to type and easy to remember and makes sense for what you're doing is going to be the most important thing, right? For getting a boost head start, some of those other tricks and stuff you could do. But anyway, that's kind of my advice on domain names. Don't worry too much about it. Like, the other thing I would say real quick here is, don't let the domain name stop you from building the blog or doing the thing, because that's silly, right? Let's go and go ahead and do the thing and not worry so much about the name. The name is not going to be that important, so long as it's not something ridiculous that is going to be so hard to type that no one's going to type. I mean, most of the time we're linking anyway, we're not really typing them in, but if you get a popular blog, right, I'm sure that a lot of people type into simpleprogrammer.com. I know they do, because I look at the stats. And if it were difficult to type, it would probably not get as much traffic from that. So anyway, hopefully that helps you. Thanks for the question. If you have a question for me, email me at john@simpleprogrammer.com. If you want to sign up for the blog course, definitely do it. I'll put a link so you can sign up and subscribe to the channel. Take care.